This boy lied about his age just to date me. Story time. So back when my cute self was a senior in high school, there was this new girl that came to our school. Long story short, me and her ended up becoming super close. I went to her house, spent the night. Her family loved me. I mean, why wouldn't they? Anyways, she had a brother. We're gonna call him Binky. Me and Binky got pretty close. Now I want you guys to keep in mind, Binky didn't go to my school because their parents were divorced. So the sister who I was friends with lived with her mom, and Binky lived with his dad who lived in another city. But sometimes Binky would go to his mom's house, which is how I met him. Now that we got that out of the way, as me and Binky were getting closer, one day he asked me, "Hey, how old are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I just turned 17. How about you?" He told me, "Oh, I'm 17 too, but my 18th birthday is coming up." After a while, me and him eventually started dating. Then one day, I ran into his cousin who happened to go to my school. The rest of this story is crazy.
Story time. So just when I thought dating couldn't get any worse, surprise, it did. I went on this date. It was like a FaceTime date the other night with this guy, and it was going okay at first. It was a little bit awkward, but it was fine. Pretty soon into the date, he asked me what my type was. And I said, well, I don't really have a type. Like, all my exes are pretty different, which is true. And then I asked him what his type was. He looked me straight in the eyes and said to me, well, normally I go for really strong, motivated, and independent women, but they're all pretty heartless. So I'm trying something different.
We get on scene and it is absolute chaos. We literally are the first ambulance on scene. Dispatch had multiple ambulances coming behind us. When I tell y'all it looked like a war zone, I really hope that you can use your imagination and understand why I say that. Bystanders on scene say that this person was driving at a high rate of speed, went around the car barriers and plowed through all 5 of them and continued to go. This person went home and went to bed. The next day, of course, it's all over the news what happened. This person wakes up and sees damage to their vehicle and thinks, oh my gosh, I think that was me, but I thought I just hit a speed bump. She went to trial, got sentenced to 100 years for 5 counts of manslaughter. So I get on Facebook yesterday and I see this on the news site. Read that. She's trying to get out of jail, y'all.
One time when I was in 8th grade, I got a hickey on my neck because I had daddy issues, and my teacher noticed and sent me to the principal's office, and the principal was like, I'm calling your mom, and I was like, I burned my neck with a curling iron on accident, and she was like, no, you didn't. So on the bus ride home, luckily my best friend and I shared the same bus stop, and I asked her if I could go to her house really quick to burn my neck with her curling iron, and she said yes. So when I walked into the house, my mom was literally ready to beat my ass. And I was like, Mom, look, it's just a curling iron burn. And she was like, wait, yeah, that's clearly just a curling iron burn. And she got so mad and she called the principal and she demanded that she apologize to me. And the principal had to apologize to me. And to this day, my mom still doesn't know.
Whenever somebody asks me how I got so good at makeup, I just tell them about the time that my mom put me in solitary confinement for 2.5 months with no phone, radio, TV, computer, nothing like that. I couldn't even eat dinner with my family. They put cameras outside my room so that I couldn't leave without them knowing. I had to call on the intercom to ask to use the bathroom. But my mom gave me a curling iron, a straightener, and a crap ton of makeup to keep myself busy. And then she told everybody she knew that I tried to kill myself, and that's why she had to put me in solitary confinement. So when I went back to school that fall, I had a lot of explaining to do to my friends about why I had been missing for the last 2.5 months with no contact, but at least I came out kinda hot.
Damn, David, this is official.
I was recently reminded of the fact that I accidentally rigged my junior year homecoming king vote. American schools, we have dances and then we vote for someone in that grade to become the king and queen of the dance, and I don't know why. So I'm in English, and they just give us slips of paper that says, like, write down who you want in your grade of king and queen. So I'm sitting there, like, not caring about this at all, and so I say out loud, who would hate this the most? So I look to my left, and there sits Josh! And Josh hates everything and everyone, and so I say out loud, Josh would hate this! And he makes the fatal mistake of saying, you better not. And then everyone's like, that's a great idea, and they put Josh's name down. So a week later, they do morning announcements, and the English class freaks out because Josh won, and everyone else in every other class is like, how? I don't think he ever forgave me for that.
One day my mom grounded me, which means I didn't have my phone, so I didn't have an alarm clock, so I overslept for school the next day. My brother drives me to school, and since I didn't have a phone, I didn't know that there was no school because of a snowstorm. Me and my brothers, both being dumbasses, don't see that there's no cars in the parking lot, so my brother drops me off and speeds away. I'm knocking on the door for like 20 minutes waiting for them to let me in. Nobody opens the door, bro. I'm like, is there no school today? Boom, it starts to snow, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm wearing ripped jeans with no jacket. I'm like, oh shit, what do we do now? I live like 15 minutes driving from the school. So I'm walking around looking if I can use somebody's phone. I knock on this lady's door. She opens up and I'm like, ma'am, can I please use your phone? I think she had dementia because she started screaming at me. And she's like, no, slams the door in my face. I finally find an angel like 2 streets down and she's like, oh, of course, princess, come inside. And in my mind, I'm like, I've seen the horror movies. Thank you, ma'am, but I'm just gonna stay outside. I call my mom to pick me up and she's like, pick you up from where? I'm like, I don't know. I've been walking for 2 hours, bro.
Hola amigas! So a lot of you asked how in the hell do me and my brother have the same birthday. So our birthday's on November 14th, 9 months after Valentine's Day. I know, right? Gross. So my brother was actually really premature. He was born a month and a half too early. My mom got really scared one day and it made her go into labor. They had to take her all the way to Berkeley and she was actually in the hospital for a really long time. So I guess she would just chill at the hospital till the doctor said like he was ready to come out. So out of all the dang days he could choose to come out and finish cooking, he chose on our birthday. I know what you're thinking. That's so freaking selfish of him. I agree. His little heart wasn't done forming, so he had like holes in his heart. TMI, I'm sorry if you watch this, Junior. But yeah, he was premature and he got healthy. Obviously, he's a big ass boy now. Growing up, my mom would always buy a cake and she would do half one theme of mine and half one theme of his. It's not too bad, I guess. Actually, yeah, it's fucking bad sharing your birthday. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I tell my mom he's a gift that I can't fucking return, but he is one of my closest friends.
So I decided to go to Walmart to get my rosé. Right, ladies? Right? Or men. Checking out. You know, the alert goes off and it says approval needed. This girl comes up. She looks at me and goes, "My, you look very young." She's probably a couple years older than me. So I'm like, I get that a lot. Here's my license. Starts looking me up and down, which I get a lot because look at all this. No, I'm kidding. So you're 22. What school did you go to? I go, I went to Baylor. And I dropped out. I kind of left that part out, but she has the audacity to look at me and go, 22. Are you sure? No, actually, I'm not sure what my age is because every morning I wake up and I select a different age, and that is what I am.
That's the official version.